Is this right? Quickly go to YouTube and get the live stream link. All right, I've sent you the link now, so you can share with your followers. And I'll quickly broadcast from my end as well.
Hello, guys. I think we're live. Please.
Yeah. We're live.
All
Quickly
right.
broadcasting. If you're just joining, if you just joined the session, do kindly hold on. Let's quickly broadcast. And for the first 10 minutes, we'll just have a quick wait time to await others joining in. So we'll go live proper by then 1:40. So quickly, we're broadcasting. If you're just joining the session, you're welcome. We'll go live proper in exactly 8 minutes. So we are quickly broadcasting. All you basically have to do is click the share icon on your YouTube right there, and then you can share the link to your status and other mutual groups to notify everyone that the session is on. If you're just joining the session once again, kindly click the share icon. Once you click that, you're going to get the YouTube link, and then you can share it with your friends and your status on other mutual groups that you belong to. We'll go live in a few minutes proper. Welcome, everyone. As I said, if you're just coming in, uh, we have our guest, Mr. Lucky Henry, and we'll be starting proper in exactly 6 minutes from now. So basically, all you've got to do is click the share icon, get the link to this live stream, and then you can share it with your friends and other mutual groups so they can all participate and gain this knowledge. So we'll be going live proper very soon. Right now, let's all broadcast and get everyone on board. All right. I think we can actually get started in just a few more seconds. We'll get live. If you're just joining the session, kindly click the share icon, get the link, and then spread it out across your network. So, Mr. Henry, I think we can actually uh, get started in a few seconds once you're set. If you're set, do all right.
All right, so we can jump on this, correct?
Yeah. So good day, everyone, and welcome to today's AMA session, organized by Ginakev Digital Academy to enlighten persons about various topics and crypto related and blockchain related talks. That is the goal of Ginakev Digital Academy. In today's session, we have a lovely guest, Mr. Henry. Is the CEO and founder of Muna. Muna is a crypto savings app that deals in stable coins. So Mr. Henry right here is going to aid us talk about this pertinent topic, which we've noticed is quite an issue in the crypto world. Persons not knowing how to save and even knowing how to save, how to do it sustainably. So Mr. Henry is going to aid us today to talk about the topic, making a sustainable savings strategy in crypto. We're going to go around from the very basics, such that if you are one who has never had a healthy saving habit before, after today's session, you are going to create a savings plan and a savings strategy for yourself and stick to it. And as well, if you are one who has been saving, you're going to learn a better way to do it to see that at the end of the day, you get to make reasonable income from it, because savings is actually one of the good ways to make money. If you're always making money without saving, it's going to be useless. So Mr. Henry today is going to aid us to actually understand the concept of what is savings and how you can apply it to crypto as compared to the fiat world. So we'll give Mr. Henry audience right now to actually introduce himself before we move ahead. So Mr. Henry, it's up to you now.
All right, thank you so much, Kevin. Can you hear me? Please confirm. Mic
Yes, we
check.
can.
All right, thank you so much, and it's my pleasure to be here with you guys, and especially talking about savings, especially in crypto, something I'm very passionate about. I mean, I even built a product to do that. Okay, my name is Henry Lucky, and I'm the founder of Muna, and I lead the team at Crew Lab, where we build software solutions, web, mobile, and blockchain solutions. And also, I'm usually that guy that is always talking about waves across Africa. So I'm a regional Africa lead at Waves also. So it's very
Interesting.
nice to come here. Yeah, it's very nice to come here and talk about this because um, it is really interesting for the simple fact that today, even saving on crypto somehow now offers us much more benefits than we see currently on the fiat and what bank offers. Okay. First, we are going to talk quickly about some few things, try to break them down, and we'll be very, very fast in doing that. The first thing there is we hear the word savings, we hear the word crypto, okay? And savings generally is it has to do with keeping. It has to do with keeping. So in this meeting now, somehow I am assuming that everyone listening to me knows what is called crypto. You don't need to understand everything about it, but you know what is crypto and you know what it means to save. So let's say you make 100,000 naira every month, you save certain amount, you save 60% or 30%, 40%, whichever percentage, depending on your strategy. So that's same thing because the naira you are holding in your hands is money, and you want to keep it so that for whatever reason you can be able to spend it later on in the future, a month later, 1 year later. All right, but you see, there's actually a good side of saving in naira, and there is another trouble that comes with saving in naira. Now, fine, saving is very good. It has a very, very good habit, but you have to learn how to save properly. Now, before you can save properly, you have to be saving with the right asset. You have to be saving with the right asset. Okay. Now, you take up your Naira, let's say in 2020, 2020 January 1st, the first of the year, I started a saving. See, I save 10 million naira. I saved 10 million naira. And as at then, I think the dollar was around 400 or 380 something. I can't remember exactly, but let's just assume I know it was around 400 naira per dollar then. Now, and most of the stores we buy, most of the stores you save your money for, like you are saving to buy a laptop, is actually bought in dollars. Okay, the suppliers and the merchants, they buy it in dollars, and when they bring it down here, they now sell it to you in naira. Now, when you started saving money for your laptop, let's say uh, a HP laptop that is worth 400,000 naira, and you want to save, or that is too much, let's say 200,000 is quite better, and that means you have to save for 10 months. Out of your salary, you have to be saving, let's say, at least 20,000 naira every month, and in 10 months you are going to have 200,000 naira saved, then you can go buy a laptop. But you see, not saving the money is not just the solution. There are also some factors that can determine that by that 10 months time, there's every tendency that the laptop might not still be 200,000 naira. And that is the factor I want you to understand. And once you understand this factor, it's going to guide how you save. Now, the first thing is, remember, these products are shipped in with dollar and other foreign currencies, depending where the dealers are buying them from, the countries they are buying them from. Now, you started to save when dollar was 400 naira, and as I speak, I think some markets are selling at the rate of over 575, 575 naira. Now, when it gets to 10 months, you find out that you needed 400 naira out of, if you split 200,000 naira, I think that should be around I think that should be around $250 or so. But something happens in the period of 10 months. By 10 months time, the dollar is no longer 400 naira. That means even if you are able to save the 200,000 naira, it's not going to be equivalent. It's not going to be equivalent to the dollar value of what it had. That means
That is
over
at the time you started saving.
yes, at the time you started saving, at dollar was 400 naira. Now it's 578. So over the 10 months, you saved the money, but your money lost value. Even though you still have it as 200,000 naira cash, you can see this money, but it's not really worth that compared to the value of the laptop anymore. Because why? Dollar has gained value over naira. Now you save some amount, 200,000 naira in January. Let's say 100,000. Wait, let me think of a better analogy. Okay, fine. It's 400 naira, and you have 400,000. That is $1,000. Now that 400,000, you kept it. In 10 months' time, the dollar is worth 550 naira, or dollar is worth 500 naira. That means the same 400,000 naira you had that worth $1,000, as at what is it called, 10 months time, is no longer up to $1,000.
thousand
It's the same
dollars.
400,000 naira, but it's now worth $800. Okay, now that is saving. Now, while you are saving, you are able to keep this money. You're not overspending it, but you are saving with the wrong asset. Sorry to say that, but it's a fact. Now, your energy is wasted and your money is not worth less. And what we have seen, because we have to stay with data, not some illusions, over the year, the naira is losing over the dollars. I hope uh, our economists and the rest of the people that handle the
That's
country's
true.
finance are going to fix it. It has been like that. 20, 30 years ago, naira was worth more to the dollar, and every year it just keep getting worse. Like, you can't even argue that one day a dollar might be worth 1,000 naira. You can't argue anymore, because the graph is showing
It's
that
very, very possible
it's
that we may even see
going.
it at
Yeah,
1,000 very soon.
yeah, it just keeps going up. It keeps going up. So it just makes it very unhealthy to save in naira. And for most of the people that save in like some banks, and they are giving some people 5%. Now, in the period of 10 months, the inflation and the value that has dropped out of your money is over 20% of your money have left. 20% value. Say going down from $1,000 to $800, over 20%, if I'm correct, has left your money. Your
Hmm.
money is now 20% worth less. You
Yes.
get? Now you
Yeah.
are paid 5% interest to save that money. So if we should balance the equation, you are still losing 15% of the value of your money.
Hmm.
You see, so this is where the issue with saving in these fiat currencies. Okay, so what can crypto do? Crypto has made finance easy. It has made it accessible. All right, it's no longer a thing of class. If you can buy it, you get access to it. Like that is it. There's no double rule for another person. One person is using one rule to play, and once it's your time, you are seeing three rules. No, crypto says is the same rule for everyone, no discrimination. Now,
Hmm.
initially, what people did was to buy dollar, but today, how many of us can get to the bank and buy dollar? Like
It's very
some credit,
stressful.
if you have credit card, you can't spend more than $100 with your credit card every month. Can you imagine that? Now, but somebody can actually, if you have merchants that pay that accept payment in USDT and crypto. I remember buying domain names on some of the registrars I use and hosting services. I can buy services up to $1,000. Maximum they allow you to deposit is $10,000 with crypto. And come on, this is commerce. This is ease. Now, talking about creating a sustainable strategy for saving in crypto. Like I said the first time, the first thing you need to know is you have to save with the right asset.
Right assets. That is number
Yes.
one.
That's the first thing. You have to save with the right asset. No matter how much you save, no matter how much and how consistent you are in your saving, if you are saving with the wrong asset, it's a waste of time and it's a waste of resources. You are wasting value and you are wasting time. Okay. Now, let me talk about the crypto side of the thing. Now, we have stable coins. We have stable coins are crypto assets that are pegged to a national currency. Let me use that, like a national currency. We have
Hmm.
like USDN that is pegged to US dollar. That is one USDN is equal to one US dollar. The same thing with USDT. One USDT is equivalent to one US dollar. The same thing with BUSD. One BUSD is equal to one US dollar. Okay, and we have Euro Neutrino. That is the euro that is a stable coin that is pegged to the euro currency as well. We have for different currencies. All right, we can still have a stable coin called Naira. That is that coin. We have the one of NGNT by Bitcoin, and
That is pegged to the naira.
yes, it's pegged to the Nigerian naira. So one of that coin will be one naira also. All right. Now
Hmm.
let's talk about crypto. Because of this, if you have not and you want to know how it is like, try to open a domiciliary account in any of the Nigerian banks. And I know of a friend that got paid into his Dome account, and sometimes they can take up to 2 weeks to withdraw their own money. And I don't really see the point. You get now for the
And you can't
financial market.
actually withdraw any amounts. It has to be a specific round-off number.
Yes, not just that. The bank will be the one to like. If they can't give you the money now, you have to wait. There's nothing you can do about that. Yeah.
That's so funny.
So due to whatever reasons that is best known to them, but I don't really find it convenient for me to work hard for my money and you have to tell me when to use it and when not to use it. It doesn't really make so much sense to me. Okay. Now, when you want to save, the second thing, you have to save in stable coins or you have to save in assets that are gaining value over your own currency. I say this with all honesty. Like, I'll find it more interesting to save in US dollars and rather
Because
than
it's
saving,
been
yes,
gaining value over our naira.
yes. Let's say, for example, in January 2021, on the 1st, I and Kevin are two brothers, and our dad gave each of us uh, 400,000 naira each. So Kevin is a very good guy. He knows how to save, and Kevin saved his 400,000 naira. And today, a dollar is at, let's say, 500 naira per dollar. And I swapped on that day, I swapped my 400,000 naira to 1,000 USDT. As we speak right now, Kevin's money is going to be worth very, very less. It's going to be worth $800, and mine will be worth $1,200. So the depreciation and the value that is leaving those saving in Naira is a benefit to those that are saving in stable coins like USDT, BUSD, and
That's like
USD.
money changing hands.
Yeah, because they are using the right strategy. And what is the strategy here? They are saving in the right asset.
Awesome.
All right. Now let's talk about saving in crypto. We have talked about saving in like, let me just mention this. Do you know there are some banks that actually charge you money on to save your money? Like,
Charge you for saving.
yeah, you can read about that.
Wow.
Like, you're not going to get a dime. You are going to be running even into deficit like -2 or -1 to keep your money for you.
Wow. This
Yeah,
is
interesting. There are a lot of troubles with the traditional markets. You can check around that. You can check on different countries. I will drop most of them on the comment section. You can read about it. Like negative savings, negative interest. You can read about that too. You understand better.
Hmm.
Now, let's talk about saving in cryptocurrencies. Basically, I would say from a monetary perspective, there are two currencies here I will talk about: the volatile and the non-volatile. The volatile assets are those ones that today, like BTC, Ethereum, Waves, BNB, and the rest of them. Now, these currencies can be worth $500 this morning, and tomorrow in the evening they are worth 1,000, or they could be worth $200. So they are volatile. Their value goes up and it comes down. Then we
Hmm.
have non-volatile assets like um
The stable
stable
coins.
coins. Yeah, stable coins. We have non-volatile assets like stable coins that they are always going to have one value all the time. They are always worth what they are. Okay. Now, the second thing is, the first thing is you have to save in the right assets. That is number one strategy you have to take note of. Save the right assets. You get the point? Save in
Mm-hmm.
the right asset. Save in the right asset. Now,
I
the
hope you
second
all. I
one
hope you all are taking down notes. This is very important, as he has repeated it over and over. Save
is
in the
very,
right
very
asset.
important. It's very, very important. Like, it's very, very important. Now, the second thing is, now when you are saving in the right asset, obviously, over the years, I say this without no apology. Bitcoin have never lost any value. This
Hmm.
fact, Bitcoin has not lost any value for over
Irrespective of all the dips and all.
yeah, the dips. Yeah, it has never lost value. Like, if we should talk about it, Bitcoin personally, what we should check data, not that you bought in while it was high and you sold when it was low. That's your responsibility in buying and selling in the financial market, in the money market. The fact is that Bitcoin came into existence worth absolutely nothing, and today is worth over $42,000. That's all I know.
Hmm.
That's the fact. That's the fact. Like, we want to talk. That's the fact. That's the fact. Like, the national currency and the rest of them has been losing against Bitcoin over the years. It just keeps worthing more and more, and the currency we hold in bank accounts are just continually worthing nothing. I mean, there was a time people were buying car like 504 car. You can ask your old parents 30, 40, 50 years ago, and these guys were buying cars AC tight for 2,000 naira. Man,
Good old days.
like, seriously. So what happened? It's same notes, same paper, same value that was written. What happened? There is like a kind of hole that is eating up the money. So if you are putting your money there, it's going to continually eat it. Now, you have picked the right asset. You want to save in crypto right now. Nice. Now, which asset should you save in? Is it volatile or non-volatile? Now, before you make that decision, there are several things you have to put into consideration when you want to save in crypto. And which asset should I save in Bitcoin? Should I save in stable coins like USDT and USDN? Now, for me personally, this is what I do. This is what I do. When I want to save in assets, volatile assets, I save in assets that has very, very strong potential. Very, very strong potential. Like this asset has potential, and I want to hold this asset. I want to be on this asset for 3 years. I want to be on this asset at least 1 year, at least. Then I want to be on this asset for 5 years.
Hmm.
Now, because that is going to direct which asset you should get into. If you are someone that is not going to wait for 6 months, obviously volatile assets and the gains associated with it should not interest you because you are going to run into trouble. All right. Now,
Hmm.
you have to calculate the timing, how long you can wait. And once you know how long you can wait, you can know which asset to save in. Someone saving in Bitcoin, for example, since uh 13 years now, approximately. If I'm correct, I'll do the math later. Someone bought at $1 and they now had it for 13 years. Today, the person has made a profit of I think
40.
42,000 and some dollars. That is what I will tell you honestly. Now, when you don't want to wait for that kind of long time and you are not able to bear with the up and the down of the market, you are the person that's going to be checking charts every day. You are checking how much is it today, how much is it tomorrow. Like, no, that means you should just focus on stable assets like stable coins like USDT. And you have to also check your risk appetite, your greed. You have to test everything. Okay, you have to test everything because volatile assets actually comes with much more reward. Like the
Reward.
gains can come big. You can have 50x, 30x, and 20x. The same way you can have such big gains that the possibility of you losing in that same rate is directly proportional. The fact that you can make $100 out of this volatile asset tomorrow morning, eh? The risk of you losing that money is still the same thing with the possibility of you making that money. So you have to check your risk and greed appetite. You have to check them properly. And for stable coins and stable assets, you don't have to worry because anytime you decide to stop saving, your money is still worth whatever it is. Okay. Now, let me talk about this, is the second one. The third one in building your strategy, you are going to save in assets that give returns.
Hmm.
You're going to save in assets that give returns. Now, the good thing about crypto savings is you don't just lock your money. This same money you lock makes you revenue every day, like on our app, Muna. Saving in USD actually returns interest every day. And there is no kind of Ponzi or unclear procedure how the revenue is generated. It's pure from blockchain mining. Very, very straightforward because USDN is backed by waves. Okay. Now, whenever you want to mint USDN, you have to lock the waves that is equivalent to that USDN in USD value. Let's say, for example, waves is $10 or $20. If I lock, it's being actually controlled by a protocol, a decentralized protocol called Neutrino. Now,
Hmm.
I want to issue 20 USD. All I have to do is I just have to lock one wave. Seems to be that the USD value of waves is $20. So if I lock one wave, obviously I made 20
One.
USD. Now waves is a POS coin, so it can be staked. Now those amount of waves that are locked to issue USDN is staked on the network, and once it's staked, is mining blocks. The node is mining blocks every day, like wave mine blocks every minute. Now from the mining, fees are generated. Now the fees that are generated in waves. That same waves that is now a profit from the network is used to mine new issue new USDN, and distribute it to everyone that is locking their USDN. Simple process.
Interesting.
But the traditional market, there is a middleman. There is a middleman there that receives the money. They lock your money, they hold the money, they give you 3% interest on your own money. A borrower comes to borrow, the borrower is paying 10% interest per annum. Bank gives you, or this some of this traditional institution gives you 3%. And after giving you
For your
3%, they
money,
hold
they
on
give
to,
you three
yes,
percent,
yeah, your own money.
and then when somebody wants to borrow, they charge the person higher.
Yeah, even if it is you that comes to borrow, they will charge you higher and borrow lend to you from your own money.
Wow.
All right. So when you want to save, you can save in assets like not just save, stake. All right. You stake. Don't just save. Don't just take your asset and keep it and say, I leave it there. No, you have to put it to work. You can use apps like Muna. Lock your lock your USDN, lock your USDT, and daily you begin to earn at a year based on yearly rate. Okay. Now there are two ways you earn from crypto savings. The first one is capital gains. You earn in crypto savings from capital gains. We have Bitcoin savings on Muna, and the way people earn money from there is capital gains. They buy Bitcoin at a certain price, and when they want to sell, let's say they bought when Bitcoin was $35,000, and they have to wait over some time, and they sell when it's 40,000. So the increase in price, the end gain from there. Then we have the ones of staking stable coins. You earn interest, like I just explained for you, from USDN by what? By locking it, and it's used to mine blocks. Then another way you can earn for crypto savings, I just want to pass it through this place. It's not really how it works, but because savings is involved, and I know that the major way revenue is generated on the traditional market from savings is they loan out your money and make profit and give you some crumbs.
And returns
All
from it.
right. Now, if you want to earn money as well on crypto, is there are some lending protocols. We have something like virus.finance. I think something that's going to come very soon on Luna. We have like Av. We have, I think, the other one, Compound, and the several of them. This is a lending protocol. And in the lending protocol, the decentralized protocol is what is in between the lender and the borrower. So that is
Mm.
like crypto lending and
Now,
borrowing. I talked about it on my profile on Facebook the other time. What happened is very, very simple. Now, for most of us, Kevin, you talked about deep. Uh, you talked about deep some few minutes ago.
yeah.
Now, most of you must have bought an asset. Let's say you bought PTC, you bought Waves, or let's say you bought BNB, and you bought when it was $500 for one.
Hmm.
Now it is $300 or it is $400. You have an emergency to sort. Let's say a $50 or $100 emergency. You have your assets here. Now nobody wants to sell. Like, you're going to lose money.
Because you are selling on loss.
Yes, you're selling at loss. Now, what does these protocols do for us? What it does is I just take my let's say, for example, my waves. I have waves that is worth um waves that is worth $2,000, and I need $200. All I do is I take it to apps like Muna or like Virus or Compound, whichever protocol you want to use. I can make recommendations. I lock my waves there. I put up my waves. I deposit it as a collateral. Remember, when I say deposit, I'm not transferring it to anyone. I just interact with the smart contract and it locks the waves. Now, when
Hmm.
it locks these waves, remember my waves is worth $2,000. I just need $500. So what I do is I use my waves as a collateral and I borrow USDT. I sell it off. I have Naira.
Hmm.
Now, why after I'm done sorting my emergency, when I have the $500 to pay, I come back, I deposit the USDT I borrowed. When I deposit it, my loan is cleared. I have my asset as well. If I don't want to deposit it, I can as well wait for waves to come to the value that it was, or let my BTC let it get to the price it was when I entered into the trade. And I know, the market is balanced now. I can still pay the debt from my collateral. Now,
Interesting.
this way, when you use your USDT, USDN, ETH, BNB, whatever assets you are using as collateral, you even when we are going to release this feature, at least the interest rates on USDT and USDN, when I checked, is I think it's up to 24% per annum. And listen, 24% per annum in dollars. So what happens when you take it down to your naira? See that the returns is running over to like 25% in naira.
Hmm.
So
Isn't
first
that a
one,
bit too much compared to the traditional system?
yeah, it's not much, and this is why it is not much. The traditional system, when I checked it, interest, earning, and everything is based on time. That is a very rigid system. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. The longer the time you log, the higher your revenue. Man, that's not it. But on DeFi, on blockchain, on crypto, it is not based on time. It is based on usability. For
Hmm.
example, during the dip, let me give you this is a secret. During the dip, when the market is down, the interest rate of borrowing and lending on DeFi protocols is high, because
Yes.
once there is dip in the market, everybody wants to buy. Nobody wants to sell volatile assets. Nobody wants to sell their waves. Nobody wants to sell their BNB. Nobody wants to sell their ETH. Nobody wants to sell their Bitcoin, because they don't want to run into loss. What do they
Mhm.
do? They need to borrow USDT to do whatever they want to do. So the demand for USDT is going to be high, and anyone holding USDT as at that time is really going to be earning a lot. I remember, I stake a lot. Actually, I don't do trading. I stake. I just lock some few thousands of dollars and I'm just take my mind off it. It's safe. I'm not scared of ups and downs. No, I'm not bothered about that. I just use, if I could share my screen, I could show you. I think I wrote $450 day before yesterday. I paid it this morning, and my assets and everything is in order. When
Interesting. Maybe you can
like
also, towards the end of the session, you do a live demo of this. Since everybody is really interested in this from the comments I'm
like
seeing.
if I tell you something now, you're not going to believe. Like, as I speak to you, my screen is like, before we started the section, the screen just went blind, and seems to be I can actually I see that you guys are hearing me and you can see me. So I'm just voicing message. I can't even see my screen as we speak. Like, it's
Yeah.
funny. So, but I'm really going to make the video and share it with you. You can share with your community. Like, guys, these things were not possible 5 years ago. This is amazing innovations.
Yeah,
Imagine.
I wanted to ask you something. You mentioned that the traditional system is based on time and it varies, it's actually high. Now, the decentralized systems of this lending and borrowing, is it not based on time in terms of if they give you, say, 24% per annum? Is it if you decide to pay today, tomorrow, next year? I mean, is there a time frame for you to pay back something like that?
Now look at where the time comes in, and I'm going to take a lot of this in questions. Where the time comes in, why I mentioned it is because you hear banks tell you, like, now listen very carefully, listen very very carefully. For example, the staking on USDN on Muna. If you stake $1 million, 1 million USDN on USDN on Muna, and another person is taking 500 USDN, there's no discrimination. It's the same interest rate that the network is returning. Everybody's going to be earning. And you can stake your money now. In the afternoon, you say, I don't want to stake anymore. I unstake my money. I remember when people started fixed deposit accounts, kind of a thing. So they are like, if you lock your money for 6 months, we are going to give you 2%. But if you can lock it up to 1 year, we'll make it 3% for you. Man, come on. You don't see that on DeFi. That's not possible.
Hmm.
If the earning and interest rate on DeFi is determined by the network, not by a group of people, a board of executives. No. Now, economically, how things supposed to work is based on demand and supply. And that is what DeFi plays to. If there's higher demand for, like when I checked, interest, people that were lending USDT were earning I think 2 weeks ago, when the market was like, this is strategy. Like every time, every market cycle can give benefits. Every market cycle comes with benefits, Now, this is where saving in assets like USDT is going to pay off, because when in bull run, we are not losing any money. Your currency is there for you. In deep, during bear market, your USDT even becomes much, much more valuable, because
Valuable.
everybody wants that USDT, and you're not going to give it to them for free. You're going to just lend it out, and you are being paid interest. I think that two weeks ago, the market was USDT. People lending USDT were receiving up to interest based at the rate of about 34% interest per annum. Like, this is
Wow.
very, very organic, because why? There is much demand for this thing. Then the value
Yes.
is the value is going to drive up. So that is where the time comes into play. If you are saving in 2 weeks and you want to save in 10 years, that is you. DeFi will not come and be making the rules for you. The whole network makes the rule, and it affects everyone like that. So that's where the time doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense
Wow.
that you lock an asset. Like, no matter the economic times, like whether there is higher demand for cash, you are not earning any more incentive, because they will like, we sign that you are going to be receiving just 3%, that kind of a thing. Yeah. So the first thing, if you want to have a good strategy, is you are going to save in the right asset. The first thing, you are going to save in the right asset. You have to save in the right asset. In this case, saving in stable coins, saving in volatile assets. That's the first thing. Choose the right asset. Fiat is not advisable. I do not recommend that. Then now,
Hmm.
the second one, when you have agreed to start saving in these crypto assets, which is the right asset you want to save in, you have to choose which you have to
Type of assets.
check your greed, check how long you want to stake,
Stake for.
check how long you want to, how patient you are going to be. 1 year, 6 months, 3 years, 5 years. You're going to choose that, so that you will know which asset best fits for you. Is it volatile or non-volatile? Are you focused on capital gains, or you want to earn based on interest? Now, another thing, the third one, I think that's going to be enough. uh Another thing is you have to choose the right platform to use. You have to choose the right platform, because okay, let me share this secret. I found about a guy who had access to some DeFi protocols, that were those DeFi protocols were lending USDT at the rate of, I think it was around 3 to 4% interest per annum.
Hmm.
You know what this guy did? He actually borrowed USDT from there and moved it to Waves ecosystem. He was paying 4% interest on that DeFi protocol, while he was earning around 28% on that same USDT. So when he takes out the interest he's going to be paying on the other DeFi protocol, he's still left with
A lot
um
of profits.
yeah, about 24% plus on free money, actually, because the USDT he borrowed was not his money.
Hmm. This is
So you
wisdom.
just have to, yeah, that's what is called strategy. That's the strategy. So you have to use the right tools.
Protocol.
Yes, because the person using on the other protocol is earning 4%, and I'm here earning 28%. You understand? The
Interesting.
right asset, the right platform, and the right time frame, and the right tool. So that is really one of the some of the things you really need, that you have to be
Awesome.
very, very,
Uh,
yeah,
well,
for you to
before
have.
our guest goes on to tell us some of these protocols we can use, if you've been going through the session, if you've been with us for from the beginning, and you are actually loving what is happening, and you actually understand everything our guests have said so far, please indicate in the comment section with right on. I want to know whether we are actually following. If you've loved the discussion and everything our guests have said so far makes sense to you, please indicate in the comment section with right on.
The discussion and everything
Basically,
our guests have said so far makes sense to you, please indicate in the comment section with right.
indicate in the comment section with right on. If you are watching the playback of this video after the session ends, you may not see the comments in the normal session. You will see it in the live chat session. If you want to see the comments of this session as it is being displayed, you have to click the live chat session at the top of YouTube to find it, not the normal comments. Awesome, awesome. I can see a lot of persons indicating right on. It shows that we all are following. Awesome, awesome. I can see over 10, 15 responses already. Interesting. So, Mr. Henry, it seems our audience actually are understanding everything you've said, and they are very, very interested in what you are saying. All right. I believe we'll have time for questions. So if you have questions, you can just basically type them and reserve. So for now, don't drop your questions yet. Towards the end of the session, our guests will then take 3 to 5 questions. So, Mr. Henry, you can go on telling us about these protocols and how we can get started. Basically, say I am a new user who has just come across this video. I have some Naira. What advice do you have for me, and what is the best way to go?
The first thing is you have to buy stable coins like USDT, USDN, and I think you can do this. You can use Muna. Yeah, I actually built. Did I just say I? We actually built Muna with this. Like Muna started as a joke project, and I was like, okay, I need to save. We built the first tiny version and released it in August 30th, 2020. And from there, it began into turn into something else, something better and bigger. And we began to integrate different DeFi protocols. Yeah, and now what you have to do is have the stable coins. You can start by downloading Muna, and you can also use protocols like there's Neutrino to make it easier, which is why we built Muna. Okay, no need for you to talk about private keys and very, very, very complex stuff, trying to know this and know that. You can just download Muna app, set up an account. We have these services, these protocols integrated into Muna. So all you have to do is you can actually still buy with a bank transfer, and you can deposit your USDT or USDN. Like if you have USDT on Ethereum network, on Polygon, BSC, you can deposit it any network into your Muna account. And once you do that, you are off. Swap into any asset you want to swap and start your savings. Create a savings plan. We actually have savings plan for USDN. You can swap your USDT to USDN and create a savings plan. There is flexible. You save today, just no limits. Any amount you want to do, whatever you want to do. And there's also, if you want to intensify your saving habits, you can create some savings plan. You can actually create some savings plan, and those savings plan is going to have, you can make them 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, whatever that suits you. And you can also use a flexible as well. So I think Muna offers this for you. So it's pretty straightforward. And if you need any
Interesting.
help, our community is there.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
So aside from Mona, what are the possible solutions one can use with all this you've mentioned in order to say I've made out a savings strategy, say I'm interested in saving for 1 year, 2 months, 3 months, or even flexible to actually get my money out at any time? What are the platforms or protocols one can use? And also, the strategy you mentioned earlier, that is lending as another way of making profits, or rather, lending. You
Lending
also
and
mentioned,
borrowing. When you are
yeah.
lending, you are giving money to the platform to borrow to other people, and you earn interest for that. Then when you are borrowing, you are paying interest to lenders. And this is, oh man, this is the good side about DeFi. Like a smart contract holds the fund and does everything. You
And
understand?
can you get back your
The-
money at any time after you lend? Say I'm no
yes,
longer
please.
interested.
Yeah,
That's
you do that. And
smart.
the good part is this is why, look at, you see, we can actually have up to 10-15% on our traditional market, but there's a middleman that is sucking it up. The reason why DeFi lending and borrowing interest rates are high is because the revenue generated, the interest rate borrowers are paying, goes directly to lenders. That's why it's high. Because there's no middleman that is taking 30% and 50%.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. So I think we can drop it
All right.
before we start.
I mentioned. Is there any other protocol that you would like to talk about? I have some examples also, so we can actually check it out. You mentioned something like Virex. dot finance. I don't know. That is a lending protocol or basically staking. You also mentioned Muna and stuff like that. So if you could also drop the links to these protocols, would actually
Yeah, we
help.
have a virus, VIRES dot finance. Yeah. The reason why I usually mention Muna is when you get to a new DeFi protocol, it's sometimes just confusing. So there, we just plug those protocols instead of running around downloading, plugging this one, connect to wallet, and you just from one place you have access to that.
Awesome. I've been a
Definitely.
user of Muna for a very long time, so I can tell you guys, Muna is awesome. Henry, you're still owing me, you're still owing me something.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna be doing that soon.
Yeah, so Muna is very
Yeah,
awesome, guys. You guys should basically just head on to Play Store. Are you on Apple Store?
yeah, both for Android
Awesome.
and iOS.
So you can get on to Apple Store as well, download the Mona app, and you can start saving. If anything confuses you, there is a Telegram community right there. And Henry is always reachable as well, so he can also guide and assist you. Okay, I think we'll basically just give room for 1 to 3 questions. So if you have any questions on all our guests have said so far, in order not to prolong the session, we'll basically ask those questions now, and our guests would attend to them. So if you have any questions on everything our guests have said so far, in terms of savings, in terms of the strategies he's mentioned, in terms of the first and most important thing you need to know, second and third one as well, and in terms of the protocols and how to get started at all, if you've got any questions on any of them, feel free to ask them now. All right. One person says, do you have to deposit some collateral before you can borrow?
Yes, you have to deposit collateral because um so I think last month and late last year I was educating a lot of people on crypto lending and borrowing. You see, it actually has its purpose. The problem it solves a very critical problem at that. Now, one of the reasons why you need crypto lending and borrowing is that you do not want to drop your bag. I mean, imagine what you saw the other day. I had some assets at the rate of $13, and these assets, some of them ran down to $8. And I had some emergencies I had to sort. I just put up my assets, locked it. I majorly waves. I just locked it, and the first borrow, I think I borrowed $4,500, and I didn't sell my assets. And as I speak now, I think Waves is close to $11 already. So imagine I had to sell my bag then to extract $4,500. That's going to be huge trouble if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. That makes sense.
It's a
So
really if
the
yeah,
point here
yeah.
is,
So
I think
you
the
have
point
to
you're trying to
put
make is the
collateral.
collateral is not as much as in the traditional system. It's not as heavy as required in the traditional system.
Yes, and another thing is once you have the collateral, there's no paperwork. You just borrow straight up, instantly.
Interesting.
No
Wow.
administrative processes.
This makes sense. All right. The second question says, before then, guys, ensure you like this video so we can have more visibility. Like this live stream video and subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. Click the subscribe icon and like this video so we get more reach and we'll have more sessions as this getting across to more persons. So someone else said, you mentioned something about buying with your credit card. My question is, can you do this with the Mona app? Can you buy crypto directly with your credit card if I want to
No,
get started?
regulatory issues will not allow that for now. So no, it's not allowed now. For now, we hope things are really going to change because I wish it's really going to change fast so that we can do a lot of things like a lot of things that's going to benefit the country. Regulations are not friendly down here now, so you can't do that. You can use credit card. Yeah,
All right. So basically, you can't use your credit card. You basically have to
no,
follow the P2P method for this at this point in time.
yeah. There are
Okay.
actually different procedures of how people could actually buy from there.
Okay. And that's getting in with P2P. Say you have Naira.
Yeah, that's actually why we allow depositing. You can buy from anywhere and deposit into Muna. Fine.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody says, does your collateral have to be the same value with how much you are borrowing?
Very, very nice and interesting question. This shows that this person is really paying attention. Now, this is how it works. Now, the first thing that comes to people's mind is when you talk about crypto loans, wow, how can you borrow me loan? What if this person doesn't come back? How will the smart contract know this person? Very cool. The answer is that I mentioned it before that there is actually essentially a purpose that crypto loans, lending and borrowing serves. For example, you borrowed your asset is worth $1,000 and you borrowed $700. So your asset, that's your collateral, is always higher than your asset if you are borrowing on doing crypto lending and borrowing. If your collateral begins to depreciate and depreciate, if you depreciate to the point whereby the collateral and the
Borrowed
funds you
amount.
borrowed are the same amount, the market, the protocol is going to liquidate. Then you now take that asset
Collateral.
as your pay for the money you borrow. Yeah.
Hmm. So they can actually take the collateral as though you've paid the loan when the what becomes same.
What I mean is, for example, now you are using your ETH as a collateral, and one ETH, one ETH is $5,000. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
And you borrowed uh $4,500, 4,500 USDT.
Mm-hmm.
When the price of one ETH falls to $4,500, it's going to liquidate you. Otherwise, the protocol will be in deficit. Instantly, that the price of your collateral, which is the ETH here, gets to $4,500, and your loan is $4,500, it will liquidate. So you'll not be able to take your ETH again. So it's as if you dropped one ETH and you got $4,500. So that is how it works. Is it clear for you?
Yeah, that's clear. Is
All right.
there do they usually alert you on time that your this thing is getting closer to the amount you borrow, so you can actually top it up in case you don't want to get liquidated?
Yes, what you do is, as a person that borrows, you're also going to be tracking the market. Then there's another thing called account heads. Now, if you put up collateral worth $10,000 and you didn't borrow any money, that means your account head is 100%. Now, when you borrow your collateral is $10,000, you borrow an asset worth $5,000. That means you have already borrowed half of your collateral. Then your account head will be 50%. So when your account head drops below 1%, it's equilibrium, it's going to liquidate. So this is really nice. I think we can even add a feature that's going to be tracking account heads, and we say when it falls below this value, you get a kind of email notification. Yeah, possible to do.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I think
Yeah.
one of these days we also have a session where we'll talk about this crypto lending and borrowing proper. Seems everybody is interested in it.
It's
So one
really
of
is
these days, we'll
like
talk
I was so shocked with this innovation. Very cool stuff.
about. All right. So okay, I think this answers this person's question. This person says, "What if the borrower didn't pay at the stipulated time?" I think you mentioned the smart contract does it automatically.
Yeah. And this person is speaking from the perspective of fiat and traditional market. Time is
Mhm.
nothing on DeFi borrowing. It is not based on time. It is based on value. It is based on value. Okay, that makes it very, very solid. And some people say they are going to pay back in 1 month. Before 1 month reach, issues begin to come up, and you hear excuses. No, DeFi is not based on time. What they know is that this is the interest rate, that is the yearly interest rate, this is the amount, and every minute your, like, when you lend on this protocol, your reward is added to you every day. It's not like you will wait for so. No, 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 because the revenues are generated instantly, the debt are generated instantly, and the revenue is generated instantly as well. So it's not based on time. Once it gets to where your collateral and your debts are equal, it's going to liquidate. That's how it works.
This makes
I
sense.
think this is, yeah.
This is very, very interesting. All right, the last question. Kingsley is asking a quite interesting question here. He says, "What platforms can one borrow USDT at 2 to 3% per annum, and what other platform can one stake or lend it to earn 28%?" As you said, more insights, please.
Okay, let me check. You see, I think this is exactly the same thing like what happens in arbitrage trading, if you can remember.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Arbitrage. Yeah,
you
this
have
is
an
it.
exchange selling an asset for $10, and there is another place that's selling it for $12. Let me see. Uh,
I'm also interested in this question. This guy really voiced it out.
you
Is
see
that
what I
a
was
guy?
saying?
Sure you like
I've
this video and
I've
subscribe.
I've
Okay.
market I've market was doing the rate is now it has topped up because that arbitrage opportunity people have feed it up. It has now moved to 12.30%.
12.30 for RV.
Yes, 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 on half to borrow it to borrow USDT. To borrow
All
USDT,
right.
yeah. Yeah.
And then the platforms you can stake up to 28%. Platforms like that are
Virus
Binance.
dot virus dot finance, which I said we are
So
going to
guys, we
cover.
are giving you a secret right here. Just
Yeah,
make
you
good
can.
advantage of it. Aave is giving at 12. You can borrow at 12.30
Yeah,
at
yeah,
said. While on virus, you can stake as high as 28 some point something
yeah.
percent. So this is kind of a giveaway, which Mr. Henry is actually giving out to you guys. So we thank Mr. Henry for attending the session, and I thank all of you for attending. As always, uh, this is GIDA, and you know GIDA. GIDA is Ginakev Digital Academy, created to enlighten persons about crypto, blockchain, and everything tech related. So hopefully, we are going to have weekly sessions as this. Possibly this Saturday. We couldn't hold it last Saturday due to some constraints, but hopefully we'll have it this Saturday and the next. And we do hope to invite Mr. Henry for the next session. Basically, we on a very interesting topic, which is one surrounding his niche, which is savings and lending and borrowing. We do hope to have him next time. Also, Mr. Henry, I believe your Mona app is having their is it seat the
Mona,
Mona
yeah,
token is going
ID
live. So could you tell us
token
a bit
stage.
about that before you go?
Okay, now since we launched Muna in August 30th, 2020. And it's actually time we have very good plans to introduce our own utility coin. That's Muna itself. Muna, just like you have on as it is to Ethereum and BNB is to Binance Smart Chain and Waves is to Waves blockchain. So we're going to be having a token called Muna, and this token is the token is going to play very huge role, very very huge role. It's going to be like a ticket for you to be like a very very full part of Muna, and we are going to start the sale the ending part of this February. Yeah, and we are going to release more details about that. We're in discussions with the platform. We need some clarifications and directions before we can make some stuffs public anyway. But it's going to hold this month. This month, yeah, yeah, that's what it's going to look like. Yeah, and by then I
Okay.
think I could share it with you and share with your community for anyone that wants to participate.
Definitely, and I do hope you run some airdrops for us. All right, so
Yes,
we
we
thank
have a
Mr.
lot of
Henry. Okay.
supply for community bounty referral activity. A lot is really going to be something so big. Like I'm blown away with what you have in that from now till the end of the year. It's going to be crazy.
Awesome, awesome. We really
Yeah,
thank you very much for making out time to be here. We appreciate
yeah,
Gida and myself for making out this to share with the newbies. And we do hope you guys can actually come back and rewatch this video and gain more insight. And be sure to like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so we'll bring you more content as this. The Muna app is spelled, for somebody asking, it's spelled Muna.
MUNA. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can basically search it on Play Store and Apple Store, and you get it. So we thank you everyone, and do have a great day, guys. We'll see you over the weekend. So, Mr. Henry, your social media handle so they can connect with you.
Yeah, at on Twitter, you can just search Henry Chukuka on Facebook. You really know it's me. And on Twitter, Chukuka021.
All right, you can actually see that displayed on the screen at
Yeah,
Chukuka021. You can find Henry at Chukuka021 on Twitter, while on Facebook, you can just search Henry Chukuka. And as
yeah.
always, you can connect with me on Twitter as well at Kevin underscore Chibohim. And on Facebook, you basically search Okoye Kevin Chibohim, and you are going to find me. All right. Do have a great, lovely evening, everyone, and be sure to come back and rewatch this to have a wider view. Bye.
Bye. Too.